up and I go to work at UK. I work in the med center, and I coordinate the simulation courses for anesthesiology. Then I go to the gym. I come home, clean, cook, and I try and get some studio time in. I like to paint people because I like to be able to see their personality. I feel like when you paint a person, or just any kind of portrait, you get to connect with that person. When you're studying someone's face, or an expression of their eyes, it's like you're connecting with them on a deeper level. You're really getting to know them. I don't just paint exactly what I'm seeing. Sometimes it's just like, yeah, that seems right. Yeah, there's a hot pink patch in his forehead, but that feels accurate. And in the end, it's like if it's right, you don't notice that his forehead's hot pink. And then in the end, it all feels good. It's hard to know when you're done sometimes. You get to a point where you're like, I think this is done. Is it? I don't know. And you got to sit on it for a while. And just kind of give it space. Step away and not be up in their business for a bit. and then you can come back and get a little more perspective.
I'm Colleen. I'm a cook.
How long have you been a cook?
Probably about 7 years, maybe.
How did you get started as a cook?
I don't know, just started working fast food jobs and then got into restaurant jobs.
What did you want to be when you were a little kid?
I wanted to be an archaeologist.
Why?
I don't know, I always like digging in the dirt, and just ancient archaeology always like fascinated me.
What's your favorite part of your job?
I don't know, just working with food, making everything look presentable, and I don't know, food is just a good way to bring people together.
Are there any challenges to your job?
Many, numerous. It's just, I like too many to name, really. I guess keeping everything from burning, but just making sure like our sales are good, everything that comes out is made correctly and fresh, and yeah, it's a hard one.
Every day is kind of different. Well, I work for Starbucks is my primary job here. I've worked for the company about 3.5+ years. Currently I'm a shift supervisor, and I'm also a certified coffee master, which sounds a little silly sometimes, but it's fun. I know a lot about coffee. But one of my favorite roles I do is I'm a barista trainer, so I can go through and train new people to feel comfortable in their environment and to try to set them up for the best success they can. With like a lot of teenagers at this Starbucks now. A few people older than me, but I'm definitely like one of the oldest people there. Someone wrote on my cup, best grandma. I don't know how I feel about this. Like, I'm kind of touched that you like me, but I'm only 26 years old. Too young to be grandma. That's my sorority. I serve an alumni advisory committee for the sorority. I was a part of Laws in College, and I get a lot of fulfillment from that too, working with college-age girls or collegiates. So yeah. So the actual head chapter advisor that mentored me for the last couple of years, she's really great. She has stepped down to focus more on her family. And then my little sister, she's just an incredible person. She stepped up and became a chapter advisor for us. And I was like, that's pretty cool. Watching someone grow and humbly being able to have a role and watching them grow and contributing towards that, it's really cool. And now to see her give back to this organization that gave us a lot while we were collegiates is really, really awesome.
I enjoyed the military. It really wasn't my first choice, but I'm glad I did miss it, because it was a different type of legal work, and it sustained us financially for a long time, so that was a good outcome. One thing that I kind of started thinking about was mindfulness. I mean, it's kind of just a word, but you just don't have to be anxious all the time about what you're going to do. Once you're retired and you don't have too many responsibilities, and I'm very comfortable. I have friends, I have family, I have pretty good income for my retirement, and I just enjoy hanging out. Take each day and try to get the most out of it. Do your best was, I think, what I always tried to do.
I am a forensic nurse with the Division of Police here in Lexington, and I perform forensic examinations for victims of sexual violence. I also become involved sometimes with homicide cases and do evidence collection from suspects. That's just sort of the highlights. I mean, they have a tendency to keep expanding my job. Work is a source of fulfillment in terms of I feel I'm doing meaningful work. It's also sustenance. It's also an opportunity for growing and acquiring knowledge all the time. Mm-hmm. Ideas that, strong women are not necessarily regarded well is dying with the old guard. I think that most of our young men today truly respect that. And so I feel like my relationship in the police department has been one that has been very gratifying, and I think that they have a true appreciation for what I do, and they pretty much listen and learn. If I call them on something, if I say, well, you need to consider this or you need to consider that when you're thinking about what the victim's actions were instead of focusing on what the suspect did to affect the crime. It's the ability to enlighten them, and they appreciate it. They do appreciate it, because they'll say, I never thought about it that way. Mm-hmm.